This is encouraging us to chill, which we will do at some point.
I went on my very first cruise on the Margaritaville at Sea Paradise. And there's 5 things I really wish somebody had told me beforehand. If you're thinking about booking this ship, or indeed any cruise at all, stick around because this could save you some surprises. I'm Patrick, and I was visiting my friend Ronan in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, when he had this amazing idea that I might like to go on a cruise. Something I'd never done before. The problem was everything that was available was either too long, didn't fit in with the current plans, or it was already fully booked up. Then he suggested this Margaritaville cruise, which was 2 days from the port of Palm Beach to the Bahamas. Perfect for a complete cruise virgin like me to test the waters. Now, as someone from Ireland, don't come for me, I knew absolutely nothing about Jimmy Buffett or Margaritaville. But I figured, how hard could a 2-day cruise be? Well, here's what I learned. Number 1, embarkation takes way longer than you'll expect, and I mean way longer. We arrived at Palm Beach thinking that we'd be on board the ship in maybe 30 minutes. The reality, 1 hour and 45 minutes. That's 40 minutes standing outside in a queue, then an hour inside waiting for security, document checks, and to get our room key.
J3, Margaritaville cruise.
So there's a line to get into the building, and then you put your bag through security with the security guard who's not particularly interested in what's going through, which is not great for our collective health. And then we've got this line. I think this is where we get our stateroom keys, they check our documents, and they check passports. So it's a mild saga. Now, to be fair, Ronan had warned me that embarkation could be pretty slow, but this felt endless. And the security wasn't particularly thorough. They were having way too much fun chatting with the passengers. But it's simply the sheer volume of the people who were coming through that kept everything so slow. My pro tip, build in more time than you think you'll need. We effectively missed the first hour on the ship because we were standing outside. And here's something they don't tell you. When you get your room key, and before you embark, there is a table there where they're selling the drinks package. Number 2, this is unapologetically a party ship, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. The moment you get on board, there's this giant flip-flop, think Jimmy Buffett. And you'll constantly hear people humming or singing along to Margaritaville, the famous Jimmy Buffett song. The theming is everywhere on the ship. Now, I'm not naturally somebody who gravitates towards group party vibes, but the passengers were brilliant. Lots of tipsy groups going from place to place, but largely they were really funny rather than annoying. Everyone kind of embraces the it's kind of 5 o'clock somewhere vibe when you get on board. Now, the entertainment ranges from comedians through to live music, and the atmosphere is definitely relaxed and fun. If you're looking for a sophisticated cruise ship experience, this isn't going to be it. But if you want unpretentious fun with friendly people, this is definitely the cruise for you. Number 3, the food and drink will surprise you, and I mean that in a positive way. I'll be honest, I had low expectations. This is an older ship, budget pricing, quick turnaround. How good could the food and drink be? But that first lunch at the Port of Indecision buffet, yes, it's called that, the fried chicken and plantains were actually delicious. They didn't look great, but they tasted good. We also ate at Finn's, which is the main dining restaurant. Think kind of American chain restaurant like Applebee's or Chili's in terms of quality. And we treated ourselves on the second night to the JWB Steakhouse. That's the specialty restaurant that you upgrade to for, I think it's $49. That had a much more upscale feel. Look, the variety impressed me for a 2-day cruise. You've got buffet options, a sit-down dining room, and Frank and Lola's Pizzeria, where you can get individual slices for free, or you could pay about $15 for a full-size pie of your own. Now, about drinks. If you drink alcohol, the beverage package is probably an essential for you.
That's delicious. Fruity goodness.
We paid $89 in advance, but if you forget to do that, it's usually $99 on board. And note, pricing can change, so that might have gone up since we travelled. And for the $89 package, you got 10 alcoholic drinks across the entire cruise. You're given a wristband as you get on board that the wait staff then scan for every drink that you order.
Once you've checked in, you have to go and get a wristband for your drinks package. Looks like the party's already started up here.
When you consider that bottled water costs $4.95 on board, then roughly $8.90 per alcoholic drink is pretty good value. And that includes the gratuity. Those frozen pina coladas as we departed from the coastline of Florida, absolutely worth it. Oh, and there's a dress code for the main dining room. I saw a couple come up and he was wearing a cut-off t-shirt and a pair of flip-flops, and the staff at the main dining room would not let them in. Number 4, you don't necessarily need to be a Jimmy Buffett fan to enjoy this cruise. As someone from Ireland, I knew virtually nothing about Jimmy Buffett or Margaritaville, the song. Now, there's plenty of my countrymen and countrywomen who I'm sure love Jimmy Buffett and know everything there is to know about Margaritaville. That's just me. I really had no connection to this whole tropical lifestyle vibe. But here's the thing. That vibe is truly infectious, if you let it be. Even without knowing the songs beforehand, you kind of get swept up in the laid-back island mentality that they're going for. It's kind of less about being a super fan and more about embracing the chill out and relax attitude. The theming kind of makes sense even if you're not familiar with the entire brand. It's tropical, relaxed. It's aiming to give you a mini holiday away from real life. I think this is perfect for a first-timer like me who just really wants to experience a cruise and kind of get into the whole thing. And number 5, you need to set realistic expectations for Grand Bahama if you haven't pre-booked an excursion. Now, here's what they don't tell you necessarily. If you haven't pre-booked that excursion and you decide to go ashore into Freeport on Grand Bahama, there's honestly not a huge amount to do independently. We took a shared taxi into Freeport for $14 per person.
So if you want to get a taxi, you share a minibus, so you just queue up until there's enough people to fill a minibus and then off you go. At least I think that's what's happening.
The way that works is you get off the boat and then you wait until enough people gather to fill a taxi. We were praying for people to come through the door and fill up that taxi. It took about 20-25 minutes in our case, which isn't too bad. Downtown has the straw market and a few shops, but we ended up at a beach all-inclusive once we had gone through everything there was to do. We had several hours to kill until the return taxi was heading back to the ship. The beaches are gorgeous with crystal clear water, but I think it's better to arrive with a plan than do what we did and show up with no ideas at all. The ship excursions like swimming with pigs might be for you if you preferred a more structured day. Don't expect the same levels of activity in Freeport as you would get in somewhere like Nassau. It's simply too limited for independent exploration. So there you have it. 5 things I wish I'd known before I cruised for the first time with Margaritaville at Sea Paradise. Overall, it was a brilliant introduction to cruising. Not luxury, but genuine fun, with pretty good food, friendly staff, and what I think they tried to sell as the Margaritaville spirit. And yes, I did feel that.
Well, off we go. That's the end of the Margaritaville at Sea report.
Would I do it again? Absolutely. I mightn't necessarily go for that ship again unless there was a very deep discount, but I definitely recommend it to other first-time cruisers looking for an affordable slice of cruise life. If you want the full detailed experience, I've got a video about that on my YouTube channel, plus a written review on my blog with all the specifics about cabins, logistics and amenities. And if you're planning your first cruise, hit subscribe or follow because I'll be sharing more first-timer advice as I explore different cruise lines. What questions do you have about Margaritaville at Sea Paradise? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer them. Until next time.
All right, let's do a quick room tour. As Ronan's already shown you, there's a large porthole. We had seen some people talking about the carpets on board, and actually, these seem relatively new. A bit of an aqua theme, which you'll see carrying on here through the pictures. This is encouraging us to chill, which we will do at some point.
Now, folks, we're going to have ourselves a good time, right?